The reason I drew this box is when you come into the ball, toward the ball, now you drop down, we know that. You've always had that little drop.
Yep. Which is why I always try to say stand taller.
Yep, a little bit laid off, or a little to the left, but not as bad. If we draw a line on the shaft for the swing plane, the club's going back pretty good, pretty parallel to the shaft. And coming down, you're not coming over 1 iota. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. So that's just a face angle error. That was probably 5 degrees closed, but you're passing to out, and I'll show you on the plate scope. And the reason I know that is because the club head, if it were to travel over top of that line that I drew, say, like for example, if I drew a yellow cone area here, right here, if your club head was coming down over here, then it would be too steep. But you're not doing that at all. If anything, your club's coming a little too far to the inside. You couple that.
Take a little bit further outside.
Yeah.
See,
Well,
when I get up top,
here. Yeah.
My thinking right here is I need to get myself out of the way, get my hips out of the way, and get my arms.
Right, but here's the problem, Matt. Here's the problem. Watch your pelvis. We're going to do something on K-Vest because you have early extension. It means your pelvis thrusts to the ball. So your hamstrings, because you're a runner, are very tight. And so here's the problem. When you cannot extend your left leg and rotate your pelvis, watch what your pelvis does in impact. Okay, so that's 4 inches of thrust.
That's why I kind of feel like
You're jammed up. Look at your arms, right? So it's very tough to square up the face because you're like this. You got a lot of angles you're creating just to get to the ball. Because think about it, that golf club's only 4 inches wide, and if you move 4 inches forward, you got to create some compensation to hit it in the middle of the club face with just pure hand-eye. So what I would say is, one, I'm going to use some biofeedback so that you can feel impact, because that's your whole problem. You see that pelvis shoots toward the ball, and that's where you're having trouble. Your club at the top, not so much of a problem for me. Your swing plane, not a problem. It's just you haven't created enough room to get the club face square. That's why you go to the right. Because the shaft of the golf club is more vertical at impact when the pelvis thrusts forward, which creates a push. Or you'll just compensate with your hands and throw it over.
see if I can fix it.
Yeah. So feeling-wise, you're going to sense that your right knee, and this is something, like if I drew and this is something you can do at home, you can take an alignment stick, put it right on the metatarsal, which is the ball of your big toe, stick it right in the ground, give yourself 1 inch from your right knee, okay? Now, you can't hit that stick. So essentially your right knee, if I stuck a stick, okay, let's just move this. If I stuck a stick right here and I said, don't touch the stick, your right knee could only move toward the target. It would have to shoot toward the target, not shoot toward the ball. Notice how your pelvis, everything's going this way. So if I said roll your right ankle, you don't have a meniscus problem, do you? All right, so look, if I said do that, okay, don't do that. Keep your right hip deeper, keep your left hip deeper. I wouldn't tell you to do that on the golf course because that's hard to do. But I would train yourself every day, working on that movement, trying to stay a little deeper, and then go play.
I can actually tell when I'm playing if I actually lunged at it, which I'm doing right here, or I actually got my hips out of the way.
Right.
Actually transfer in the right correction. I know it. You know if you hit a fat shot or you hit
right.
right.
So that pelvis movement toward the ball, I would call that a little bit excessive. If you were only this much, 1 inch or a half an inch, I'd say it's okay. But that's more than you want. That's probably 3 or 4 inches. So, are we going to get rid of that? Yeah. These guys don't do that. See how his right heel's down? Look at his right knee. Has it gone forward? If we drew a line, if we drew a line right over his right pelvis, all of his hip socket, it's not forward as much as yours is. So just getting the hips to stay deeper, that will help you. Now, is that easy to do? Is it something to think about? I don't know. I wouldn't think too much about it on the course. I think thinking about body parts on the course is a mistake. I think you got to feel the swing, get in touch with it, feeling what's going on with your body and the club face, because your hands are your only connection to the club. But certainly, when you practice your swing and motion training, you want to keep those hips back a little better. All right, now